All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the crypto gaming markets. Over the last hour, we're seeing Bitcoin up 1.5%, so it's a good time to be going live here on a brand new channel, a new home going forward for crypto gaming content. For a while, I'm going to be splitting content between the normal Banter channel and the In the Game channel, and we're going to be bringing you more value every single week as this market heats up and as the Web3 gaming industry heats up. We feel like we need to bring you more curated content on a home where you can find all the gaming content. So we're going to dive into the markets. We're going to dive into some of the catalysts of what's going on in the gaming markets right now, tokens that are killing it at the moment in time and that are still honestly undervalued by market cap. And then last but not least, there is a big token launch that has surfaced that is going live tomorrow. And I think this could have a big time-esque type of run. So we'll go over that and more. Without further ado, let's get in the game. And as always, especially with this new In the Game channel, guys, drop down, hit that like button, smash it, and subscribe down below. I will be splitting content here moving forward. I see a question, will I permanently be on this channel? For a while, I'm going to be splitting content still between the Banter channel and In the Game, but we're going to bring you more content every single week, and we're going to put it right here on the In the Game channel. So smash that like button and subscribe. And a quick shout out to our sponsors today. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, the top gaming launchpad. We have XCAD Network, the ultimate watch to earn platform. Owned GG, the $1 million games league goes live next week. Amino Rewards, they're absolutely crushing it. You can still download the app down below and jump in and start earning tokens even after the TGE. We have big time, honestly, one of the top games in the entire space at this moment in time. And last but not least, we have Real Fever. Real Fever is launching 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏, their flagship title this month. So we will keep our eyes on that. But here we go. We see the market doing really well today, guys, up 1.5% on Bitcoin and pretty green across the board across altcoins. But the one thing is the gaming sector in specifically is absolutely crushing it. If we move over here to the 24-hour watch list and the 7-day watch list in particular, we have called out that playable games was super undervalued. And honestly, it still is. It's around a $10 million circulating market cap, still very much undervalued versus the likes of a 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗀, versus the likes of a 𝗕𝗏𝗏, versus the likes of a Myria, etc. So whenever you look at playable games, I do think that run will continue, but will continue moving forward. And we'll talk about that later in the show. Nicola, you're already subscribed because this was the Hustlepedia channel. We just rebranded it over to the In the Game channel. So that is why you might have been already subscribed. So we will be having more content on this channel moving forward. So we're stoked to bring you more value, more altcoin, more games, etc. So let's go ahead and dive into the market. I mean, we're seeing things pumping across the NFT space. We're seeing things pumping across the crypto space. We even have the bear of all bears, Alex Becker, coming through the door saying that he's getting the bounciest, juiciest 2 a.m. dirt bag gains in crypto. You see, but if he thinks these 55% are dirt bag gains, we've been in since the bottom on these gaming tokens. Like he's saying he caught the gaming bottom, but at the same time, like we've already done multiples on our coins, right? So you have the opportunity to make Alex Becker your exit liquidity this time around, all jokes aside. But, you know, Alex is seemingly now bullish on the Web3 gaming sector and altcoins right now, even though he claims he did miss the Bitcoin bottom. He says he's riding up this gaming market. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. We see inquiries on the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 chain. Like 𝗕𝗏𝗏 had the lawsuit, but it's not seemingly holding them down from the sentiment. The 𝗕𝗏𝗏 chain, they have a big player coming through the door soon, and you can see the amount of inquiries here coming through the door. I'll maximize the image there, but new inquiries to be launched on 𝗕𝗏𝗏 chain are coming through faster than ever. And then gaming NFTs. Like if we move over here, we see Block Dice. They're going to be doing a token drop, Block Games Dice. They will be doing a token airdrop coordinated with these NFTs. So this one's doing well. It's up to a 0.27 floor. We see Shrapnel, which has doubled in floor price overnight with their token launching tomorrow. People are speculating whether or not NFTs are going to get an airdrop, but that had already occurred. People have the Shrap in their accounts. So we'll talk about Shrapnel's upcoming launch in a second. And then we have a couple of projects of my own, Nexus Gaming, which is doubled in floor price. We're up to 0.9 on the floor. And then TTOO, our gaming community, we're up to a 0.5 floor. So you can see gaming collections specifically are starting to rocket. And I will answer altcoin questions in the chat at the same time, like at the end of the show. We always do that. We're going to dive into you guys' altcoins as well. And I'll give you my strategy on stuff like IMX, etc. I see those questions floating around in the chat. But not only the NFTs, we're obviously seeing the gaming market in crypto go crazy. We see playable games crushing it. Domi Online, which is over on Avalanche, very solid. Senate has performed like crazy. Decimated, PlayZap, Citus, Cetify, Nakamoto Games, GameSwift. Like it's really hard to find a token that's not doing well at this moment in time in the gaming sector. And this is why we lined ourselves up in this sector at the freaking bottom. And we've done such good gains on stuff like Cetify, Vulcan Forge, playable games has doubled since I brought it to the table last week. Like it's already doubled in multiples since I brought it to the channel last week. So we're seeing the sentiment in the gaming markets. You know, they're there without a doubt. And I see like a question in the chat, and like I think this run's going to continue personally, Rafa. So if there are some people bearish on Bitcoin, do I think that Bitcoin dumps and we enter a recession, it will take the gaming sector down? Personally speaking, I think the whole recession thing, we're seeing the stock market go down. I don't think it plays a part right now in crypto. We right at this moment in time are decoupled from that market. I see right now that crypto is that next play for people. They're bringing their money back into the space. There are new wallets coming back into the space. So whenever I see what's happening with the stock market, the broader economy, and then I look at crypto, right now we have nothing to do with each other. And I actually think people who made money in stocks are pivoting their money into different asset classes. And one of those asset classes is Bitcoin. One of those asset classes is crypto. So honestly, I see this run continuing for the short to mid term, if I'm completely honest with you. And I mean, it looks like right now, let me go back to the top of this list. Let's filter it up by market cap. And we'll see, yeah, Bitcoin's doing pretty well as we are live. So we will keep our eyes on that. Obviously, the one big play that we brought to the channel over the last couple of days was playable games. We gave it to you on Friday. Over the weekend, it has doubled in price. And honestly, at this 10 million market cap, I think it's got a long way to go. I think this one's going to continue its growth. It's over on the Avalanche network. It's got all the makings of a Myria or of a Gala as far as similar metrics in the economy. Game studio. They have a quality team. They have nodes, as you can see, like alongside what Myria and Gala are doing. You can get playable games nodes, and those actually print tokens for you every single day if you own the nodes. So first and foremost, shout out to anyone who got in on this token because as Robert says, I think this is all-time highs. Like we are now in price discovery if you are speaking in those terms, right? I don't use the typical charting terms, but if you look at this chart, we are now in price discovery. And it seems like we brought this to the table right at the right time, finding new all-time highs. And I think at this $10 million market cap, this is where we see a little bit more growth to the upside. So, shout out to anyone who got in on this one. And I see in the chat a few people agreeing with my recession narrative. Traditional markets crash. All money is going to move into crypto. Recession narrative is to keep retail on the sidelines while the institutions buy in. Absolutely. Like, don't be manipulated. Don't be shaken out of your positions. I think that this is the time to be doubling down on these markets because of these reasons. They are the traditional money, the smart money investors. They are looking for that next thing. That next thing is going to be crypto. And the recession, the people at the top of the stock market, they're pivoting their money into different asset classes. So once again, don't get shaken out by these recession talks. And then number two, shout out to anyone who's gotten in on this. I think it's going to continue running. The volume is crazy. The sentiment is even higher. So big shout out to anyone who got in on this. And what is the next play? What is the next launch? Now, TLDR and, obviously never financial advice. but I'm going to give you my honest opinion here on Shrapnel's token launch, right? We have been waiting for this for a long time. We see 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗏 from the 𝗦𝗲𝗲𝗚𝗏. They do great research over there. Shrapnel's token is about to list on Bybit, Huobi, and KuCoin in the next 24 hours. Their operator NFTs have already doubled in price. Gaming NFT news it takes time to get priced in. This is not an airdrop for the operators, but at the same time, this token, we've been waiting on it for quite a while. You can see Shrapnel is coming to Bybit Spot, Play Shrapnel. We can see that it's going to KuCoin as they partner up with KuCoin. So right now, people are starting to line up their bags, line up their stable coins, and see, you know, is this going to be the next big time? You see these first few days, what happened to big time, right? I mean, we were seeing $100 million, $200 million days on the volume here coming in on the big time token. And honestly, this was the big spark. This really sparked the altcoin gaming market here. Now, the big question is, will this perform the same? Will Shrapnel be a similar situation where it's like, okay, maybe I should immediately get in, watch this thing pump, and then let it correct? So here's a couple of things. If you're going to play this is a high volatile play with the Shrapnel token launch. No matter how bullish we are on the future of Shrapnel, just like we're bullish on the future of big time, that market cap at first is going to be very, very inflated because it's going on all of these exchanges. People are going to be FOMOing in like crazy. And if we look at the market caps here, you know, it's not showing me the fully diluted on that market cap chart, but here it's a $750 million fully diluted for big time as it stands. Honestly, I think we see Shrapnel do something similar. I know the pre-launch valuation is like 140. I'll have to check my numbers on that. But I think it's $140 million fully diluted market cap to start on this one. Yes, the operators got their airdrop months ago. So like people buying the NFTs now, they're not getting that airdrop. But we beg the question here, is this going to play out similarly to big time? I think it will. I think they're lining up these big exchange listings like KuCoin, like Huobi, like the Bybits of the world. I bet we see maybe a Binance. I don't know about Coinbase. Maybe we see Coinbase come through the door. But whenever you see these main exchange listings, they're going to pump, but then that hype's going to wear down. As we saw here with big time, they launched on Binance and Coinbase immediately, and this thing absolutely ripped to the upside. So how should you play it? Honestly, here's the steps that I would take. Wait until it launches, find the token address, follow the Shrapnel Twitter, play Shrapnel on Twitter. Let me load you guys up over here. Find their Twitter handle right here. Play Shrapnel. That is the account you are going to want to follow. They will get you the official link, the official token address. Go on Dex Tools, search it up. That's the best tool, in my opinion, to go and find the charts before they hit the exchanges. And when you see this token go live, see the activity, how big is that first candle? Like, weigh your risk there. If it's a slow start, that might be a good sign to maybe put a small position in. And then once you get those listings from KuCoin, Huobi, and Bybit, you're going to see a sharp spike in volume. You're going to see those green candles come through the door. So here's the way I'm personally going to do it. I'll sit on the sideline. I will have my stablecoin allocation for this ready. Whenever it goes live on chain, you need to be ready to try to snipe it before it goes on exchanges. Because if you're buying after the exchange listings, it's going to be a lot harder to make those gains on something like this, as we saw with big time. Like, people FOMO'd in up here on big time, and that's down 50% if you would have bought after the exchange listings, right? So watch for those exchange listings. If you can get in on this token on chain, like on MetaMask, just Ethereum, wherever they launch this thing, if you can get in before the exchange listings, I think you're going to have a hell of a run up because of that volume that comes through the door. If not, guys, I wouldn't be afraid of sitting on the sideline for something like this because of the volatility. As Crypto Jam says, it's going to rip right off the jump. I think it's going to go crazy with these different exchange listings. But after that volume wears off, do not FOMO in after that thing does numbers, because that's where you're going to get caught holding the bag, like potentially people did with the big time token. And it's not a knock. It just got to an overvaluation. This thing got up to a $1.5 billion fully diluted market cap. So my biggest advice to you is try to front run the exchange listings, because it should go live on chain before it goes on exchanges. So my biggest advice to you, watch that Twitter, maybe turn on post notification, grab your phone, go to the Shrapnel Twitter, follow, and then hit the bell notification and set all notifications to go live. Because you can see on these exchange listings that it will go live at certain times. KuCoin tweeted what time it's going to go live. I'm pretty sure Bybit is going to list what time it goes live. So shortly before then, it should already be launched, just on chain, not on the exchanges. So that's the time you need to try to get in on this. If it goes crazy and you don't get your position in, all I can say is please don't FOMO in. Like, that is the only thing I can tell you. And I think that that's the best advice to give, because it didn't work for big time people that FOMO'd in near the top because it just kept ripping. And I wouldn't trust that it will happen here. However, this is one of the most hyped token launches of, probably the year in crypto gaming. And I think off the jump, this is going to do numbers. Ben in the chat asked, what DEX for Shrap? We don't know yet. That's the thing. Like, it's an Avalanche game, so it could be on Avalanche, or they could put this thing on the Ethereum chain for volume purposes. Because if they go on the Ethereum chain, more people are going to buy than if it was on something like the Avalanche chain. So I would think probably a Uniswap. If not Uniswap, then that probably means it's going to be over on the Avalanche chain. That would be my two places I would think you could see this go live before it goes on exchanges. So guys, all in all, I'm super bullish on playable games. We're seeing this thing run up like crazy right now. And I think that we continue to see an uptrend. And I think the way to play the Shrapnel token launch tomorrow is to just try to front run the exchanges. If you cannot, do not be afraid of sitting on the sidelines. If you see that thing going to Mars or the moon without you, do not be like, I have to get a position in, right? I really have to. That's not the mentality. There are so many opportunities out there. But I just gave you the game plan. Try to find that token address, get in right before those exchange listings, and those volumes, the amount of people getting in on the exchanges, they're going to pump that bag, and then you are going to be the beneficiary because you got in first, right? So let's go ahead and dive into the chat box questions here. Bull fully diluted going to be a problem soon? Honestly, I don't think in the short term, because we're seeing stuff like Naka at a 230 million fully diluted. We see 𝗔𝗵𝗄 at like a $360 million fully diluted market cap. Right now, it's not as important as like when it's in the bear market and those token unlocks are prevalent and you're seeing, these tokens get hit hard whenever there's an unlock. Right now, everyone's bullish. Right now, really, people aren't paying it. Tokenomics have been put out the window for most people at the moment in time. And it's still, multiples undervalued versus a couple other similar projects. So honestly, I'm not worried about the diluted yet. Let's see. Hopefully AVAX for gas fees. That would be nice. Absolutely. Ron comments, I love Ronin. I think that obviously we're seeing pixels, 35,000 active users and counting per day. It's absolutely crazy to see. And I think that Ronin is going to be one of the safest bets heading into the next cycle. Price prediction for Crown and Dubs. I hate doing price predictions, but I'm okay with, projecting market caps. Let's see here. So Crown at a 14 million circulating, with their Kentucky Derby partnerships, I wouldn't be surprised if this one could 5 to 10x in a full-blown gaming bull market. And then if we go over to Dubs, let's find Dubs here. I think Dubs has a lot of upside. They're about to integrate with 50 plus wagering partners. I also think it probably is a safe bet to get up to about 150 million market cap in a full-blown bull. It's at like a 35 mil right now. I think it could safely 5x on the high side, once again 10x in my opinion. And I will always give you conservative, like, and despite Becker missing the bottoms and saying the 55% was red light 2 a.m. gains, despite that, if you're too bullish, you're never going to get to those targets. So set targets that are realistic, take profits along the way, and then at that time, you're not going to be the one holding the bag. Because like Alex has said on Twitter before, he said, the reason you'll win in crypto is having lower upside targets, taking profit, and then letting it ride a bit. That way, when the market does simmer down, you can just take your profits out of the market. But if you're shooting for 100x on every token, it's not really going to work out for you. And you're going to be left holding the bag if you set those types of targets. Let's see. Looking at Vera, why is the fully diluted not a concern? They're burning a ton of tokens, and a lot of those tokens will never hit the circulating supply. So most of them will never be in the hands of someone who can sell. Have I heard of Fear? I have. I feel like those types of tokens do well around Halloween, but it's been around for a while. I guess if they're still building, that's a good sign. Thanks, Hustle as ever, bro. Absolutely. When to top up in DCA, everything is just green. Definitely not on the green days, Serene. Just keep your stablecoin bags to the side. When you see stuff like this playing out in the markets today, like everything out there right now is green. So don't FOMO in. In my opinion, I think it's smartest to DCA on sideways days to red days. And if people listened yesterday, for example, Dubs was in the low $3 and it was going sideways or a little bit red. And someone asked, is it a good DCA today? I said that it was. And then today we see it is back to, let's find it. There it was. It is now back to $3.56. So when you see that volume kind of simmer down in this type of a market, money's just rotating through different projects. So anytime you see those red or sideways days, I think that's the time you get those DCAs in. But don't FOMO into the green. Opinion on Crown, I absolutely love it. I think it's too late to keep loading. Buy tokens that, like I just said, are sideways or down on the day. Don't ape into the green candles. Any information about WAS? Saw some team members switched up to open to work on LinkedIn. I haven't heard much recently. I haven't talked to the team over there in quite a while. I know they're still building. I know they're still alive. But right now the token's kind of been on life alert. So let's hope they bring it back. Do I think the Shrapnel fully diluted could hit 1 bill on the opening rip? Given the degeneracy in the markets right now, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Is Super dead? Super is not dead. Elio's still building. They have some big plans coming through the door. He's more of a build in silence type of guy, which doesn't work well with a token. But the community and the people he's kind of been letting in on what they're doing, they have some big stuff on the way. Continue adding to the bags or wait for the next token. Like I said, just wait. If you have tokens that you feel like you've missed on, wait for a red day, wait for a dip, and then just put small DCAs into it. That's the best advice I could give you. Yeah, 𝗔𝗂 has a 10-year vesting period. Don't sweat about the tokenomics there. Yeah, if you look at the tokenomics on certain projects, there's a lot of that, although they're inflated looking, they're not going to really hurt you in the short term. Thinks IMX goes lower than 0.5 still? In this market, absolutely not. I think even right now is a decent time to DCA on IMX, like low risk, in my opinion, really high upside right now. Let's find immutable here. It's got to be higher than this. Yeah, immutable 48. That's crazy. 84 cents. I think anything around this level, honestly, it's kind of been stable around here. It got up to 90 cents. I think it could do another push up if this market continues, it's going to push up and above that. So I think right now is actually a pretty good time to get a first position on IMX if you've missed it, because you really didn't miss that much percentage from the bottom, in my opinion. How much profits should we be taking percentage wise? That always depends investor to investor. If you are a whale and you put $1 million in a token and it doubles to 2 mil, you're dumb not to take profits, right? But at the same time, if you put 1,000 into a token and it doubles, it's not really going to move your needle maybe as much depending upon your situation. But my biggest thing is it's all on individual investors. What's the best for your psychology? What's going to help you move on and manage your portfolio without worrying about downside? So my biggest advice would be something doubles, maybe you take 50% off the table and then you leave your initial position. All the rest of the upside is risk-free. And if it goes back down, you can just take profits off the table and it's all profit. So that's all up to you. That's my strategy. If I have a token 2, 3, 4, 5x, I'll just take out my initials and ride it risk-free. Is bull a good buy right now? Obviously, it's hard to justify aping in right now after it's just done crazy numbers over the last 48 hours. But at the same time, at a 10 mil circulating market cap, and it's diluted, is still undervalued versus its competitors like Myria, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗀, 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏, etc. I still think it has a lot of upside to go, but hard to justify buying on a day where it's up 60+%. Just wait for a little bit of a pullback. Like, it's inevitable. Nothing runs forever, and there's always pullbacks. In Arena, I wish the best for him. I was a big fan of him at the back end of the last bull, but I know they're launching like Thetan World or something like that. So I like I said, I'm wishing the best for those guys. What's the significance of fully diluted value? Yeah, so the circulating market cap, that means how much liquid is circulating between the tokens that are unlocked in investors' hands. So those are the tokens that can be sold. But the diluted market cap shows you how many tokens still have to be vested into the market. So the diluted will show you the value of every token, the full supply, but all tokens aren't always fully vested at any given time. Most tokens in gaming aren't fully vested. So there's always a little bit of risk for unlocks. Like, the diluted is where the VCs can get some of those vested tokens eventually and potentially sell on retail. So that's, not the encyclopedia of it, but I think that's a pretty good explanation. We should stick to eating oranges. No, I respect Alex. He's a really smart guy, but he definitely misread the market on this one, in my opinion. Best gaming L1. Ooh. Yikes. Avalanche, maybe? Like L1s, in my opinion, aren't really the solution. Solana? Avalanche? Because like Polygon's more like a L2. I wouldn't consider Polygon an L1. Yeah, like Avalanche or Solana. Like, honestly, I think L2s are more the narrative for games, like an IMX, those types of projects. But yeah, I think that like L1s, it's definitely not Ethereum. PYR all-time high again. It's about a little less than a 10x from here. It's not impossible, but I would more aim for around $30 to be safe. Just my opinion. Everyone's gonna, like, here's the thing with those old cycle tokens, so bullish on PYR, but at the same time, everyone's looking at the old all-time high. So you should set a target a little lower than that so you make sure to protect your downside and take profits. What I think about Pegaxi, I don't think it's coming back. I've seen the token pumping, though. Did I see Network yesterday, Johnny? I think did it also pump a bit, I believe. I think I saw that. There's going to be a gaming Bitcoin like Sandbox that moves before the alts. Right now, no. Like last cycle, it was Axie. Right now, we don't have that clear-cut first gaming token. If anything, it's Nakamoto Games the way that it's ran this year. It's up like 1,300%. So maybe that's the gaming Bitcoin. I don't know. Right now, we don't have that in the market, like an Axie or anything like that. Up on DTG, our guild's dead. They're not dead completely. I like Merit Circle. I like YGG still. But those lower tier guilds have definitely gone off my radar personally. Why is Sol listed in AI on CoinGecko? Good question. I think they have some AI features, but it's definitely not their priority. Parallel Colony, big announcement coming next week. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And I want more utility for the Prime token. It's just going to help us grow our Echelon Prime investment as well. Appreciate you, Hustle. You the reason I survived the bear and had me thriving in bull. Let's freaking go, my friend. We got a long way to go as well heading into 2024, 2025. Oh, you follow Domi online on Twitter. Why did you dodge our question? I don't dodge questions about Domi. I've been a fan of what they're doing for a long time. I know the team behind it's super solid. It's been on my watch list for quite a while. So no, I don't dodge any questions. I even replied on Twitter. Like I've been seeing what they're doing. What about Gods Unchained? I think it's one of those safe projects that won't die. It's Immutable's flagship game until Illuvium comes through the door as well. So I think it's a good play. Should I take profit on Naka? Got in around 79 cents. That's a really good entry. And honestly, if it's irking you to do so, maybe take 20% off the table, but I definitely would leave some in. It seems like one that is going to be a crazy gainer if we go full bull. Bull, Citus, Senate, good stack right there. Very good stack right there. Yeah, I just got a text. Ran and some of the guys went bearish today on their shows. They were saying we had a pullback on the way. Let's see. I think that, all right, sorry about that. The Bears came at me. The Bears just attacked me, guys. I was coming at the Bears, and the Bears tried to take me offline. No. Oh my gosh. Bitcoin is going crazy at this moment in time, so that's a good thing to see. Join TTOO before it's too late. I absolutely agree. We've been killing it over in TTOO. We're going to be killing it over on Nexus. So yeah, obviously no bias there, but they are my projects. As long as the coin is not dead, some will hit all-time highs again. Yeah, so all-time highs aren't out of the picture, but some tokens' market caps make it really hard. Thoughts on Ultra? Hasn't moved much. Yeah, and I think it's still a safe accumulation. Like Ultra, although it doesn't pump as hard as certain things, if you want low downside, Ultra's a really good play, and I think it's still going to grow. What happened? Dude, the Bears, they don't like us spreading the bullish sentiment, spreading the alpha in the gaming markets. They tried to knock me off, but we don't let them win, all right? We're here to stay. I got in Naka on 30 cents. It's risen to the top of my portfolio. Def stay in. Yeah, if you have that type of entry too, I'd moonbag that thing. Unless it comes back down, just shave a little bit of profits. Portfolios, gaming, metaverse, AI, privacy, and real world assets. Pretty good stack there, my friend. Pretty good stack. I like it. Any good price levels on Solana gaming projects? I still think Crown's pretty undervalued. I think that Polis has a long way to go. Decimated, even though it's pumped quite a bit, probably has a super bright future. OTK is like a $1 million market cap. Not financial advice, but I've seen a lot of sentiment around that as well. I don't dabble that much on Solana altcoins, to be honest. But I think it's an emerging blockchain, obviously, when you see the hype that Solana has. So like, yeah, I like Polis, Crown, Decimated, Solana, obviously. I like the NFTs over at Play the Heist. They're absolutely crushing it. And OTK would be like my moon play on the Solana chain right now. It's Whack-A-Bear season. Yeah, we need to make that. We'll play it on the stream. Thoughts on Altura? I love Altura. Once again, I think it's a low risk, high upside bet. Like whenever it dips, it doesn't dip that volatilely. And then whenever it rips, it does very well. So I love 𝗢𝗓𝗏, still one of the top of my list on the low caps. If we are just we are just multiplying our capital, should we skip dubs or peer and just buy bull and S fund? Look, if you want to play a little more risky game, then yeah, even dubs is low cap, but bull, S fund, dubs, the low market cap stuff, that's going to give you higher returns, but you also have to understand you're taking higher risk because those projects aren't as developed. S fund is, but like bull, for example, is an up and comer. There's going to be a little more risk on it, but at the same time, I think the upside potential is tremendous at that market cap. So like, I think playable games is just getting started. Shrapnel token, right? Yes. Yes, that is tomorrow. About 15 minutes or so, 11 minutes into this show. So like 24 minutes ago in the stream, I mentioned the play if you are trying to get in on it early. We'll do a couple more due to me freezing, and then I'm going to hop out of here. I got Naka at 27 cents, but only $100. Hey, man, at least that $100 is $450 or more, or $550. Got to look at the bright side. Are we showing off Illuvium's mode, ranked PvP today, Hustle? Yes, I will be checking that out tonight, but I'm under an agreement. I can't speak about it, Nick. Shh. I can't say anything. Even when I see it, I gotta keep the thoughts internal. 𝗢𝗓𝗏 or Soul? I like 𝗢𝗓𝗏 as a more confident play, but I still like Phantasma. Thoughts on Mask? Mask. It's not MetaMask, is it? What is Mask? What are the best gaming coins on Coinbase? I'd say Vulcan Forged. Probably my top pick on Coinbase itself. I know big time's over there. I would say Vulcan Forged if it's on Coinbase. I don't understand how we can get the Shrap token on chain before it's listed on exchanges. Okay, so there's a liquidity pool behind all of these tokens. So like you can go and buy big time on Uniswap, on a DEX, right? So what happens is they don't just give it to these exchanges and the exchange is like putting it on chain. Shrapnel has to do the token generation on their side. So that way they can send the tokens to the exchange. So the token has to be live for the exchange to have his hands on it and list it. So what's going to happen is it's going to go live on chain first. Now, whether it's a minute before or whether it's an hour before, we don't know that. So like the token generation will go live before exchanges list. That's just, it's part of the game. So if you can find it, the actual address, which Shrapnel should tweet, you have a pretty good shot of getting in early there. I got 10K Naka for 6 cents. My man is rocking right now. Good play. 𝗕𝗶𝗴𝗧𝗶𝗺 price prediction. I think it could 10x, 15x from here, to be completely honest with you. It's an undervalued project. They're about to bring a lot of stuff over to the ETH crowd, which I think will give them a much more exposure. I didn't skip Dayton Arena. I think that it's going to be tough for them to regain the sentiment that they used to have. I'm a big fan of what they were doing last bull, but the tokenomics were kind of tough and it was a hard time in the market. It's not really in my scope right now, but the degenerates might pump it. That's my opinion. I think IMX, UOS, Vera, and 𝗕𝗓𝗏 are the only ones that haven't done crazy moves, and those could be the good DCAs today, to be honest. What's a good buy still, Vera or PYR? PYR's pumped a little more. I would go Vera until PYR takes a dip, and you could DCA in there, in my opinion. All right, guys. TLM, I'm not a big fan, honestly. I think it's definitely overblown last bull type of project. But guys, I'm going to hop out of here. Awesome stream, awesome turnout. The freaking chat today has been on fire on the first show on the In the Game channel. So like I said, we're going to be hosting a couple shows here every single week and a couple shows over on Crypto Banter. So you'll find me in both places. Subscribe to this freaking channel. Like the video. Let's run this thing up like the markets are running up our gaming altcoins. And I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to be over on the Banter channel tomorrow, and I'll be back here on Thursday, bringing you more alpha, bringing you more tokens, and hopefully bringing you more gains. That's what we like to see. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. As always, play well, my friends.